before we get into that, I kind of want to talk about that 10-year gap, right? Because you took that time away from writing. I guess I'm assuming previously or prior to becoming a father, if you were to introduce yourself, you would say James Fouché, the author, right? And then you put a pause on that part of your title, and you go James Fouché, the father. What does that 10 years look like?
Well, I always call myself a silly daddy. I think the one thing that I wanted to be is I wanted to be like really way crazy, like just silly for my kids. I wanted them to understand that there's nothing wrong with being silly. Not in a bad way, like in a really productive, good, creative way to foster that thing. Those 10 years, I wrote quite a lot of parenting articles for publications because I mean I am still a writer and I wanted to keep that side of me alive. And I rather channeled that towards writing certain articles. So I wrote for publications in South Africa and Australia and America. Um, and it was more just giving subtle guidance for, parents out there, and it always ended up coming around to fatherhood. So that 10 years, the things that I was talking about in the articles that I was writing really puts a sort of crisp focus on what I was dealing with because it was bleeding into the articles because I was like relevant, right? And to be honest with you, there were many times that it was just this gray space. It was like white noise sometimes. I mean, when COVID came around, for instance, um, we went into a very long national lockdown. South Africa as a country had one of the longest lockdowns. I don't know why, but we had one of the longest lockdown periods. And in that time, my wife was obligated to work because she was managing a guest lodge and she had to sort out a lot of things. So I was a single daddy with 3 kids on nappies. So when I say it was like white noise, I mean like my wife comes home at night and she says, "All right, so what did you do with the kids?" And I sit there thinking for like a minute, and I would say, "I've got no idea. I don't know, but the kids are alive and they're asleep and they did eat. I've got no idea what happened." So I'll tell you what it was. It really was answering questions. That's it. I was just present. They were asking questions. I was fielding the questions, giving my best possible answers that I could. And if I couldn't give it, I would go try and find the best possible way to reason through it for them or to give them at least the answer. But that was the whole part of my life, and that was just answering questions and being available. That's it. Nothing more.
Yeah, that's one of the best pieces of fatherhood advice that my dad gave me early on, and I didn't get a whole lot early on, but one of the things he told me, because I've got sisters, I'm the only boy, and one of the things, and I've got two daughters, so his thing was that at some point they're going to start coming to ask you questions, and he was like, don't just tell them to go ask your mom. He was like, if you can answer it, you answer it. If you don't know the answer, try to find the answer. If you can't find the answer and you do need to go to mom, you guys go together. He was like, because once you get to a point where it's always go ask your mom or I don't know, then they just stop asking you, right? You start cutting off your own connection to your kids and they stop seeing you as the hero or as, dad knows everything. And they just go, I'll cut out the middleman. I'll just go ask mom. And so just being present in the moment when they ask questions, whether I know it or not, that's also good, right? It's showing them some vulnerability. Dad doesn't know everything, but he'll show you how he finds the answer. And then they learn together and we learn together, which I thought is always really cool. Even to this day with teenage daughters, it's the same thing. There's some stuff I definitely don't know the answer to, but we're going to work together. Since you came to ask me, we're going to figure this out together. I'm not just going to push you off on mom because I know she probably knows the answer, but we're going to learn together. So next time I have the answer. And I think that's really important. I think the thing, even though sometimes it does definitely, I remember when my kids are younger, it feeling like at the end of the day, but I don't know what happened, but we all survived and everybody's healthy and happy. And let's just try this thing again tomorrow. It definitely can be like just white noise. Stuff is happening and you're just trying to not necessarily survive because you're really thriving in that situation. But at the end of the day, it's hard to be like, oh, we did this and we did that and we did this. And Nah, we did whatever happened that day.